So I don't really have a training update today, as you can probably tell by the title of the video. This is, and I'll be honest, quite a difficult video for me to make because I don't tend to talk about this kind of thing, but I feel like it's incredibly important for a lot of people, including me. And this is what this channel is meant to be about honesty and kind of the pitfalls and the challenges and sometimes that it is that you have when you're training, when you're trying to lose weight. So it's basically going to be a video about mental health and how that can impact you and some kind of advice on what to do if that is the case. I want to put a disclaimer on the fact that I am not a medical professional, so I am not giving you any medical advice. This is just personal preference, what I find helpful. If that's useful for you, then fantastic. If you feel that you have mental health issues, please go and see a doctor. These will be helpful, but nothing is more helpful than actual sound medical advice, or booking with a counsellor if that is going to be appropriate for you. Some workplaces, if you're working, you can get counselling through that workplace. I'd inquire, I'd speak to anybody that you can about getting help. But I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of what's happened this week. So the training kind of update, I suppose, is that I haven't really trained this week. I've not really eaten well. I've eaten a couple of my kind of planned meals. I've not done too badly. Not every single meal has been awful, but I've definitely not stuck to what my plan was going to be, because I think it's important to look after yourself and to think about what I'm going to speak about today, which is self-care. So personally, I suffer with what they call cyclothymia, which is, most people won't have heard of it. I'd never heard of it before I was diagnosed. It's basically a mild form of bipolar disorder. So I have peaks and I have troughs. So this week has been a trough. It's been a pretty bad trough, if I'm honest. And sometimes that's the case, and you can't do anything about it. It's not about anything particular. I have a fantastic life. I am incredibly lucky. I have a fiance that is incredibly supportive. I've got a family around me that are fantastic. I've got friends. I've got a job that, by and large, I love. And I think any job's going to have days where you're not happy or where there are challenges, so that's fair enough. I'm not unhappy in my job. So it's not situational, it's whatever is happening in my brain that then makes the peaks and troughs. So essentially, not to be too much about me, but if you have days in which you are not motivated, you're not going to be motivated every single day to train, to eat healthy. And 9 times out of 10, you just have to do it anyway. And I know this is coming from me having a week of not doing that, and that's something else that we'll talk about. But this is the 1 time out of 10 where it sometimes needs to happen. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to feel motivated, but just go anyway. If you can, then just go. Because then the times where you can't, whether it be situational, like you can't make it to the gym because you're too busy, or the the kind of situation that you're in, you're not able to plan your food or kind of prep your food in enough time. So they're always going to be there. Hopefully there'll be less times than that than normal. But that way, if you can go, just go. If you can't, don't beat yourself up about it. Because then you lose twice. You're losing because you're not at the gym, or you're not at the CrossFit session that you wanted to be at, or for whatever reason you've had to get a McDonald's on the way to where you're going because that's the only time you're going to be able to eat. That may be, to some extent, negatively impacting you and your training. If you then beat yourself up about it, that's a negatively impacting you as well. If it's not your choice, and if it's not you just going, oh, can't be bothered, or like, I'm not really kind of, I can go, but I'm choosing not to, then what's the point in beating yourself up about it? That's basically all I want to kind of talk about today, because like I said, I'm not a medical professional. My personal belief is, you know yourself and your body. If it's something that's not going to be beneficial for you, then don't do it. And some days you will just not be able to go to train or whatever it is, especially if you've got issues or problems that you're having with your mental health. There are things that are more important than losing weight and training. Up here is more important. You are more important than that. And from my personal experience, even if, because some people just say, I'll have a day. Even if you have a week, which is pretty much what I've had this week, you're not going to do that much damage. I've eaten pretty badly, and I've trained not at all. I've put on 1 pound. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I've lost 9 before, so I'm still 8 pound down. That's how you've got to see it. Don't see it as I put 1 pound on. See it as I've put 8 pound on. I've taken 8 pound off. Next week, I'm determined to lose that pound again. So as long as you take it as a season, that's just not the week for you, but don't wallow. Don't let it consume you. Go and see a doctor. Go and make sure you're getting the help that you need. Go when you can. Just like the CrossFit methodology. Do what you can, scale the rest. If you can go and you can push it, go. If you can't, for whatever reason, don't. But don't beat yourself up about it. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm determined to get back on it, and next week you'll have a proper training vlog where what I've done this week. I'm off work this week, so I've got loads of time to be able to go and train and eat well, and that's what I'm going to do. And next week I'm excited to be able to give you my update of what I've done. I didn't want to do this kind of video right at the start, but it's outside my control, unfortunately, and in some ways it might be beneficial to a couple of you, hopefully, because we don't talk about it enough. And if you're in a crisis, if you are struggling, talk to someone, please. Because people need support, whether you've got mental health issues or not. This is for anyone. If you are struggling, talk to someone, please. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I'm going to go train tomorrow before the pantomime rehearsal that I've got, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure with my timings and stuff this week, it's just going to be an open gym sort of thing, so it might be a bit different to normal. I can work on a few specific things that I want to work on. I'm going to try and do as many burpees in a week as I possibly can because I am terrible at them. So the only way in which we're going to get better at them is by doing them. So finish on a positive. I'm going to have a great week of training. I'm going to have a great week off. I'm going to spend time with the family. I'm in pantomime, so get to enjoy that. And then I'll speak to you next week. Alex, I know you've asked me about the meal prep. I'm going to try and do something this week with me being off, but I've got a load of meals and stuff prepped anyway, so I don't really need to, but I will try and, I might do a video just on the principle of it, but I'd rather kind of show you what I do. Specifically, I'm going to be doing a different meal prep when I get paid, because I think, touch wood, I'm going to get myself a rice cooker, and that will change how I meal prep anyway. So I might just do a video for you midweek this week on the principles of meal prep, and then do another one where it's practically what I actually do. So anyway, I've got to go because I'm going to go for donuts with my fiance, as it's Saturday, and we went to the donut shop yesterday for Valentine's Day, and they had sold out within the space of 3 hours, and they are the best donuts ever. So I'm going to post, and they're vegan. So I'm going to post on Instagram. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm going to post more on Instagram because it's just photos. But I'm going to post something from Instagram about them. And if you're in the Leeds area, make sure you go to Temple, because I haven't had them until this morning, but I've heard that they are immense. So have a good weekend, and I will speak to you later. Bye.